The New Orleans Saints are currently the betting favorites to draft Shedeur Sanders in the 2025 NFL Draft. So in today's Madden 25 rebuild, I'm putting Shedeur on the Saints and I'm playing out his NFL career in New Orleans. And honestly, this is going to be a pretty hard rebuild because the Saints have so many older players and a ton of money tied up into those players. And you're looking at one right now, Derek Carr, 71 overall, normal dev player making like $40 million, so we can't cut him this year. It's pretty ridiculous. We got Alvin Kamara on like a 3-year deal. He's over 30 years old at receiver. I like Chris Olave. Luckily, in this rebuild, injuries are off, so we don't have to worry about any of his injury concerns. The Saints did sign Brandon Cooks in free agency to be like their wide receiver 3. Rashid Shaheed, of course, is back, a great deep threat. I would love to have him as our wide receiver too. The offensive line is honestly pretty solid. They got Tulisa Fuaga with their first round pick last year. We do need to solve left guard, so in the draft, we probably will be at least selecting one offensive lineman. Well, the defensive side of the ball isn't much better. The defensive line is pretty mid. Chase Young and Granderson is an okay. I would say just a very mid pass rush duo for us in this 4-3 defense. Ryan Brzee, another guy that's pretty good, probably still ascending. He is fairly young. But we need another defensive tackle. We need at least probably 2 more linebackers. And Demario Davis, another guy, very, very old. He's not going to be good for much longer in this sim. I like the addition of Justin Reed. He's still in the prime of his career, but Tyrann Mathieu, another guy, fairly old, not going to be good for much longer. Cornerback, we have Kool-Aid McKinstry. I like him. He's young, 75 overall. I think he will develop probably to be our cornerback too. But outside of him, Alontae Taylor, not too good in this game. Amadi, the Saints also gave him a contract in free agency, so he might be starting for us this year, but I don't think he's a long-term option either. So a lot of work to do in this team, but of course our first-round selection is going to be Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. It does suck that we're probably going to have to move up with the Giants to get Sanders because right now he is projected to go top 3. Pretty much everybody in the know right now expects Sanders to be on the board when the Saints are picking. So that is why he is technically favored right now to go to New Orleans. But obviously we can't really do that in Madden Sim, so we're probably going to have to make a trade up with the Giants to ensure we do get Shedeur. All right, so we got the trade through, and it wasn't too bad. I gave up Spencer Rattler, our 9th overall pick, a 4th and a 6th rounder to move up 6 spots. Rattler would have been a cool backup for us for a couple years, but I think we just can still have Jake Haener to kind of use that role. But now here in the NFL draft, as long as the Cleveland Browns don't take Shedeur, we'll be perfectly fine here. There goes Cam Ward, and supposedly it's supposed to be Travis Hunter here. It's Abdul Carter, so that's still fine with us. And now we get to pick our man, Shedeur Sanders, out of Colorado, a round 1 to 2 talent, which I do think is more than fair. But we are going to draft him here, and he's going to be our quarterback of the future. Go ahead and show him the watch, Shedeur. Go ahead and show him the watch. 23 in true value. We got him at number 3, but he is hidden dev with 95 throw power. That is, that's kind of crazy. 95 throw power for Shedeur Sanders, but we're going to take it though in this rebuild. 86 acceleration, 82 speed. And his skills are honestly really, really good. A deep, A medium, A short. I don't know how he's listed as like a round 1 or 2 talent with these skills and metrics, but we'll take it. And here, top of the 2nd round, there's still some really good names. Ashton Genty, Amarian Hampton still here. I don't think that's very realistic, so we're not going to have one of these guys selected. But how about Tyler Booker from Alabama? We have a huge need at left guard. I think he's one of the best offensive linemen in this draft. 6'5", 325 pounds. Not the most mobile guy, but I still think as an anchor and pass protection and just mauling people in the run game, he's going to be a great fit for us. I want to make sure our trenches are complete. He's 50 in true value. He is hidden dev with 89 strength, 325 pounds. I like the addition. And I think here in the 3rd round, we're going to take a flyer on Riley Mills from Notre Dame, 6'5", 295 pounds, a little bit older at 23 years old, but great speed, elite jumping, solid strength, looks like a really good athlete. And then B block shed, B power move, and B tackle, I think is pretty good here in the 3rd round. Definitely want to take a flyer on him here. 166 in true value. So not great, and he's only normal dev with 85 strength. Hopefully, he can at least just be a solid starter for us down the road. I'm going to start planning for the future a little bit with our weapons. I think Alec Umanor still on the board here at the bottom half of the 3rd round is just great value. Elite strength, great speed, great acceleration, and great jumping. He looks insane on this sim. Pretty good route running as well with a catch in traffic. I think he could be a steal for us here. And he is actually going to be 64 in true value, hidden dev with 94 speed. We probably might have just gotten our ex-receiver, can now allow Olave to maybe play in the slot a little bit more. I really like this pick. And you know what? Just for fun, we're going to take Cam Skadaboo as well. He just plays the game the right way. He's just gritty. He grinds. He's the first one in, last one out of the facility every day for Arizona State. And he might not have the best physical capabilities, but you know what he has? He's got some heart. So Cam Skadaboo, welcome to New Orleans. You're 122 in true value. You are hidden dev with 89 speed and 90 acceleration. You're going to learn wonders from Alvin Kamara. And the draft recap is good. Anytime you see a 76 overall quarterback who is hidden dev, you love to see that. I am realizing that most of our top selections were on the offensive side of the ball, except for Mills, who's only a 67 normal dev. So that is not great. We're really going to have to address that in the next couple of years. But I'm really happy getting a foundational offensive lineman, our franchise quarterback, a really good receiver, and then just a gritty running back in Skadaboo. And here's what our roster is looking like heading into year number 1 of this rebuild. Shedeur Sanders is a 76 overall hidden dev player. This will be the last season that Derek Carr is a part of this team. We will be cutting him if his contract is just not expired after this year. I do want to see Cam Skadaboo get some reps, maybe just have him as our short yardage back, because right now he's not even cracking the rotation. And that's kind of the same thing for Umanor as well, because we have some pretty good veterans like Shaheed and Brandon Cooks ahead of him, so I don't know how much we're going to see him progress as a rookie. But Tyler Booker, starting from day one, already a 74 overall. You love to see that. But our defense is going to be pretty rough this year. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I would be shocked if this is around even a top 15 defense in the league. Just so many holes and just not really many impact players either. And through the midseason point, we just won our first game of the season against the Chicago Bears, 22-19. We started 0-6, and it looks like our offense is one of the worst in the league. Our defense is actually top 15. I was kind of wrong on all accounts. I wonder if it's because I didn't change the scheme at all. That definitely could be a reason why. I'm struggling to find what I want to look for here, but I do have it as the Rams playbook. But no, it actually looks like we are relatively running what we should be. We're just kind of trash. The players ready to negotiate with Ryan Ramczyk. Really interesting. He's 31 years old, 83 overall star dev. I'll offer him player-friendly deal, but this is like the max I'm going. He's going to accept it, so we have him for 2 more years, and after that, we're probably going to move on. Trevor Penning, he's a bust. He can move. Alontae Taylor, I really like him in real life, but he's just not very good in Madden, so probably going to have to let him walk. Demario Davis still wants to keep playing. 36 years old. I mean, he's still probably one of the best players on our team. We'll bring him back for, at the very minimum, some vet leadership. I think I am ready to move off of Tyrann Mathieu and Foster Moreau. Some of these guys, I'll let them hit free agency. I want to start getting younger and finding some more impact players. Same thing with Cameron Jordan. Probably feel good about letting him leave. So, wow, we actually had a really impressive end of the season going 8-9. How is that possible with how bad our start was? Only 1 game out from winning the dreadful NFC South. But I really thought for a while we were going to have maybe a top 5 pick in the draft, and now I'm just not even confident we're going to be inside the top 10. So you see our offense just started off really slow. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, kind of understandable. But then our offense really caught fire around the midseason point, and it really never looked back from there. So let's take a look at the stats for the season. And Shedeur Sanders had a great rookie campaign, 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. And we might have been the worst rushing team in the league. Alvin Kamara, only 486 yards and 346 for Cam Skadaboo. I only had Skadaboo in as like our short yardage player, and I guess he's still just kind of split carries with Kamara, which is kind of funny. But receiving, Chris Olave really emerging in this Rams offense, 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns on the season. Rashid Shaheed had a decent season. Brandon Cooks, pretty good year. I would say Alec Umanor, I want him to have a bigger role next season. Still had 5 touchdowns though. And defensively, Carl Granson, 9.5 sacks. He led our team. Chase Young had 9. As long as he's hovering around that 10 sack range, I'm pretty happy with that. And picks wise, Pete Werner, 3 interceptions. Ugo Amadi had 2. And Tyrann Mathieu, the old man, also had 2 interceptions. And looking at the season recap, unfortunately did not take home Offensive Rookie of the Year. They went to Amarian Hampton of the Dallas Cowboys, but the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Packers in the Super Bowl. It looks like Cameron Jordan did decide to retire. And at the very bottom, you see middle linebacker, it says D. So I wonder if after we extended Demario Davis, if he also retired. Here is the last look at our players before free agency. Brian Brzee, I do want to accept his 5th-year option, one of our best young players. Trevor Penning, he can walk. Alontae Taylor, we kind of already went over all these guys. Look at Tyrann Mathieu, already down to a 77 overall. You aged very quick in Madden Sim. I am also a man of my word. I want to see what would happen if we just got rid of Derek Carr. So I'm pretty sure if we just cut him, there'll be no penalty. So actually we'll have a penalty of $10.5 million. We're going to free $51 million in cap room. See you, Derek. And now it's free agency time, and one player I think I really want is Jalen Petrie here. With Tyrann Mathieu not a part of our team anymore, we do need a starter now. And Petrie, we have enough cap space to bring him in. Still fairly young at 27 years old and a really good player. 83 overall. We'll definitely take that. It does look like Demario Davis did retire, so I think Terrell Bernard, another 27-year-old in the prime of his career, makes a lot of sense for the Saints team. I think even somebody like Quay Walker could make sense with Pete Werner as our 2 outside linebackers and our 4-3 defense. I don't want to pay him too much money, like give him a player-friendly deal, so we're just going to up it a little bit and then offer him this, but another 26-year-old player. I want to try and sign another defensive tackle as Christian Boyd really hasn't developed for us. Same with Riley Miles, who we drafted last year. He's just a serviceable veteran. That's much better than what we had last year, so we're going to try and offer him this 2-year deal. And then I don't think we have a great chance to get Deron Bland, but I mean, he's the best player on the market, 88 overall, still 27 years old. I'm going to offer him that 5-year contract, a very big overpay, but to get him with no interest is what we have to do. And we actually got 3 of them, Jalen Petrie, Terrell Bernard, and Quay Walker. It does feel like Deron Bland did say no, and he did. He went to the Los Angeles Chargers, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but we do save paying him like $26 million a year. I do want to offer Rachaad White a contract because Alvin Kamara, I think I'm about to trade him. He has really fallen off a cliff, and I don't want to pay him that money next season. I think we also will give a 1-year deal to Mike Hilton, just more depth in our secondary. And that's going to do it for us here in free agency. We put a lot of holes, especially on our defense, with still ascending players in the prime of their career. We are going to send Kamara back to his old head coach in Sean Payton for a 5th-round pick, just getting off his contract. And we are unfortunately picking number 14 overall, and really the best players in this draft are going top 2. We have a really generational pass rusher and a really good cornerback as well. I would like to trade up for one of these guys, but I just don't know how possible it's going to be going from 14 all the way up into the top 3 of the draft. And I just don't think this trade's going to happen. I'm offering 2 first-round picks, a second-rounder, and Shaheed to move up to the number 1 overall pick, and the Titans are saying no. So instead, we pivoted to the Patriots. I don't know if I love this. I mean, it is slightly an overpay here. 2 first-round picks, 2 thirds, and just kind of a backup linebacker. And now we have the chance to take that generational cornerback. I really did want that pass rusher, but the Titans just will not budge with this selection here. I mean, he was like a generational pass rusher, but we're going to have to go after the generational cornerback, and Nick Noel out of Georgia Tech. He's 6'1", 207 pounds, 22 years old. His physicals are pretty good. I wouldn't say amazing. He's only got 1 elite, which is his agility, but it's his skills. His skills, his skills, his skills. A press, A man, A awareness, B zone coverage. He's going to be a lockdown cornerback from day number 1, and he actually is the number 30 player in this draft, which is interesting. But he is hidden dev, obviously, with 92 speed, 93 acceleration, and now we just got our cornerback 1 for the rest of this video. And I think here in the middle of the 2nd round, Joe Gonzalez is going to be our pass rusher we take a flyer on. Another player from Georgia Tech. I guess we're just taking over their entire defense, but he looks pretty good. His skills, there is some variance there, but his physicals, elite jumping, great speed, great change of direction, great acceleration. Looks like a pretty good athlete here, so we're going to take a flyer on him. And he is number 84 in true value, which isn't great, but he is hidden dev. That's all we really care about here. And he does have good athleticism off the edge, so he could be, moving forward, a good pass rusher for us. Our draft capital next year is not great, so I'm going to go ahead and move out of this 4th round here and get a 3rd rounder back next year. And again, I'm pretty happy with this draft recap. Nick Noel is a really good player. 81 overall hidden dev. He's going to be a great player from day 1. And Gonzalez, although he's not going to be generational, he's still just probably going to be a good player for us long-term with a 73 overall. That's just really good for a rookie, especially when he's hidden dev. The CPU tried to get us a home run hit in day 3, but it didn't quite work out. And oh my goodness, I can see why the Titans did not want to trade that pick at all, because Evan Blanton is an 85 overall. It's the highest I've ever seen on Madden for a rookie. That is absolutely unbelievable. And then Jamie Knight here from West Virginia, an 82 overall wide receiver, was the other player ahead of Noel. But here's what the team is looking like heading into year number 2 of this rebuild. The offensive line is still just really good, led by Eric McCoy as a 90 overall center. Probably going to have to find a right tackle soon as Ramczyk just continues to get older and regress. I think in offense, the next agenda for us, though, is to find an impact player at tight end or running back, because right now we just have good players there to really get us into Super Bowl contention. I do think we need an elite running back or a tight end. A receiver, we're pretty good. Olave, Umanor, and Shaheed. Brandon Cooks also still just chugging along here. But I'm really excited about all of our defensive additions this year. Our secondary looks a lot better with Noel and McKinstry now as our 1-2 punch out on the boundary. And then Hilton in the slot is a really good option. Jalen Petrie now with Justin Reed, good safety duo. Quay Walker, Terrell Bernard, we remade our linebacking core. And then on the defense, Bobby Brown III, Gonzalez in the draft. I just love how we kind of overhauled this entire unit. Obviously, still need an impact pass rusher. Maybe that's Gonzalez, maybe not. He's probably not going to play a ton this year. But we're making pretty good progress, I would say, in 2 off seasons here, up to an 84 overall team. And now we'll see if we can compete for a wild card or maybe even the division title this year. And through the midseason point, not much progress from last year. We're 2-4, so I think 1 game better than we were last year. It's our defense really struggling, allowing 26.6 points per game. Taking a bit of time for all of our new additions to kind of gel together. But we've got $79 million in cap room, but Chris Olave, he wants a contract and he doesn't have any interest in playing for us right now. We're obviously going to get a deal done. I want to give him a 6-year contract and he's going to sign it. But Keandre Miller, probably going to let him walk, I would say right now. Jordan Howden, don't need him either. And the rest of these guys are kind of just backups for us. We don't even need Hugo anymore because we do have Mike Hilton, at least on a 1-year deal. I want to see how much he regresses before I do extend him, but I would much rather give him a deal, I think, than Hugo at this point. And we finished the year 6-11, so kind of a disappointing year. We don't even have our first round pick. Of course, we're just worse this year. Somehow, with all of the additions that we made, makes no sense. But for whatever reason, Shedeur Sanders was not as good this year. Kind of had a sophomore slump. 3,800 yards, 23 touchdowns, 212 picks. The offense was the same. The scheme was the same. Nothing was different this year. Our rushing attack was actually better. I think Rachaad White had a decent year, 812 yards and 8 touchdowns, but Cam Scadaboo only 1 carry all year. Receiving wise, Chris Olave still had a good season, 13 touchdowns, but Rashid Shaheed and Umanor had some bigger roles this year in the offense. It looks like defense, we put up pretty decent numbers. Brian Brzee kind of broke out this year with 11 sacks. Carl Granderson had 10. Chase Young still hovering around that 10 mark. And picks wise, Terrell Bernard had 5. Justin Reed had 2, and our rookie cornerback had 1. Not as much production we want to see here from our first round pick. He did have 8 deflections and 3 forced fumbles. And the season recap, the Eagles win another Super Bowl, 35-28 against the Cincinnati Bengals. We do not win an award, but the Packers won Offensive Player of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jonathan Adkins was a stud for them. Last look at our players before we hit free agency. Talisa Fuaga, I am going to accept his 5th-year option, a no-brainer for us. Keandre Miller, I am going to let him walk. I think Cam Scadaboo can at least just fit his role. And we already kind of went over the rest of these guys. Pretty fine letting every single one of these players walk, and now we head into free agency. With $64 million in cap room, I'll check there and see the cornerback market before I offer Mike Hilton a deal. And this free agent class is generational, but unfortunately, we have no interest from Aiden Hutchinson. I would give him every penny of our cap room, and it probably still wouldn't matter. And I'm going to up it as much as I can. I just don't think he has any interest in playing for us, so there's just no way we're going to be able to get him on this squad. But I wish that he would just take all of our cap space because he would change our defense so much. So I'm going to offer him this, a 6-year deal with $30 million a season and a $30 million signing bonus. Pretty strong offer, but still miles behind the Bengals and the Titans, who also just drafted a generational pass rusher last year. How many do they need? Tyler Linderbaum has a lot of interest in us. Maybe we can trade away Eric McCoy and see his value. And we actually have some really good offers for Eric McCoy, including Will Campbell of the Cincinnati Bengals. Campbell is still ascending. He's very young. And if we get him, we could probably play him at right tackle. Maybe move off of Ramczyk as well, and then we just would have to make sure we get Linderbaum because Eric McCoy is one of the best players on our entire team. I mean, the Cardinals are offering us Marvin Harrison Jr. We just don't need a receiver that bad, so I'm not going to take it. But why not? Will Campbell, we're going to take this and a couple of picks as well from the Bengals. Trade is done. We're going to trade Ryan Ramczyk to the Patriots for a 3rd-round pick. I think this is actually their 3rd and not the one that we traded them. But regardless, we're going to take that. Now we have a few picks in day 2. We do now need to make sure we can get Linderbaum, so I'm going to offer him a 5-year, very player-friendly deal an absolute bag of a contract. And we are the number one offer. So we better get Linderbaum, no BS. And then I guess we will offer Kader Kohou a 2-year deal to be our nickel cornerback with Nick Noel and Kool-Aid on the boundary. We did get Linderbaum, which is a big side relief, and Bohorquez, a punter for the next 4 seasons. Hutchinson did decide to go to the Cincinnati Bengals, and now we're just waiting on Kohou, and then we should be set for free agency. He elected to not sign with us, so Mike Hilton, welcome back on a 1-year deal. And here in the second round, I was looking at these tight ends, but they're around 3 or 4 talent, so probably going to stay away from that here. I was thinking about this running back. Ricky Gilmore from North Dakota State looks insane. 5'10", 235 pounds. He ran a 4.42, and he's got a break tackle, a trucking, a stiff arm. He looks insane. But then this defensive tackle, Taylor Whitlock, he looks really good as well. Really good physicals, and then his skills, a tackle, a play rec, B finesse, and power moves. I mean, that's a really good player here in the second round. So do I want to bolster up the defensive line or get a running back for our offense? It's a very tough decision here. I feel like Gilmore is the better player, but I just don't know if it's the smart pick. But you know what? We're going to have some fun. Ricky Gilmore from North Dakota State, welcome to the team. Please be a good player. And he's number 7 in true value. This is what I'm talking about. Exactly what we needed. Hidden dev, 93 speed, 90 acceleration. And he's a power back. I think Britton Patterson here, I'm not going to double think this. He looks pretty good to me. He's got elite speed, great change of direction as well in his skills. A power move, B finesse, B awareness. I think top of the third round just makes a lot of sense here. He's number 120 in true value. He is hidden dev with 87 strength. Just going to take a flyer on this tight end here. 6'3", 260 pounds. Alan Keller out of Miami. He's a vertical threat, and his physicals aren't great, but he's got a 4.63 40-yard dash. Almost a 30-inch vertical leap. Pretty good agility as well. His blocking, really not good, but B catching traffic, A break tackle. Could just be a good receiving threat for Shedeur Sanders, and he's 196 in true value. Normal dev, probably just drafted a bust. And then here in the fourth round, the last pick I want to make is just getting Ben Burns here. He ran a 4.3 40-yard dash. Physicals are pretty good. His skills are not. He's got really bad route running, and he can't catch well. But you know what? We're just going to go for his speed here, trying to get some more depth of receiver, and he's 151 in true value. Not even the worst pick we made. 95 speed, 93 acceleration. That's a fun little gadget player. And the draft recap isn't great, but Ricky Gilmore is an 80 overall. So a really good home run pick here in the second round. This defensive tackle, Britton Patterson, maybe he can develop. I'm not super optimistic about it. But the tight end we drafted in round 3 is a bust. But the CPU made up for it in the 6th round, getting Steve Barkley, who's a blocking archetype, but a 70 overall. But here's what the roster is looking like heading into year number 3. I'm really hoping we can make a playoff push this year. The offensive line is actually upgraded from last year. Linderbaum, he is better than Eric McCoy. He's also cheaper. We move Fuaga to right tackle because Will Campbell is an 85 overall left tackle, so a better tackle duo as well. Tyler Booker is finally into the 80s. Juwan Johnson, kind of been hovering around that 75 range this entire video so far. But we have 3 great receivers, Olave, Ayumanor, and Shaheed. We have Gilmore now starting at running back. I really hope he transcends our offense. And then Shedeur Sanders still hovering around that 86 range. Hope he gets up to the 90s this year. The defense is still really solid. Noel is a superstar X factor, so he's going to be up into the 90s this year. McKinstry is still chugging along as our cornerback too. The defensive line has still just been mid. We really need to find a key addition, just a great pass rusher or somebody on the interior. The linebacking core is still really solid. The safety duo is really, really good. An 85 overall team to start this year. 87 overall offense. I really hope we can win double-digit games this season. That's ideal. And through the mid-season point, we're 7-0 with the number 3 offense in the league, the number 2 defense in the league. A drastic improvement from where we were last year, which is really, really fun. We do have $136 million in cap room, but a ton of players to bring back. And Kool-Aid, he is the first one. Want to give him a 3-year deal. He will sign that. Ryan Brzee, low 80 overall player, has developed really well for us. I want to keep him as a starter for a long time. Same could be said for Chase Young. I don't want to overpay him a ton. I think a 4-year deal is fine for him. He doesn't really have much interest. He's not going to accept it right now. Same thing for Cesar Ruiz. I would want him back, and he will sign. Rashid Shaheed, just been a solid wide receiver 2 for us, and he will come back on a deal. I think I am going to let Rachaad White leave since we don't really need him anymore with our new running back addition. Carl Granderson, I might look to trade him right now. As crazy as that sounds at 7-0, he's 30 years old. I don't think I want to pay him. Juwan Johnson, same thing. probably just going to let him walk. And I went ahead and packaged them together, Rachaad White and Granderson, for Mikey Sainristil of the Commanders in a 3rd round pick. My thinking here is now we have our long-term answer at slot cornerback, maybe even a boundary down the road. We're going to put in Joe Gonzalez, who we drafted pretty early on, he is worse than Granderson, but he's still a pretty serviceable player. We want to get him reps. We are cooking 14-3 with a top 10 offense and defense in the league. We are also the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs, so the Super Bowl route in the NFC, it runs through the Caesars Superdome. And the stats for the season? Shedeur Sanders is back. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Gilmore this year had a good season. 897 yards and 16 touchdowns. I heard something that your running back has to be like a 90 overall for them to have a better average in sim, because their offensive line is good. It just seems like if you don't have a super high overall running back, for whatever reason, they don't get a ton of yards. So I think Ricky Gilmore, though, he will be up into that 90 overall range next season. So expect him to have a breakout season next year. Receiving, Chris Olave might have won himself Offensive Player of the Year, 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. Umanor is officially our wide receiver too, 819 yards and 5 touchdowns. Defensively this year, Chase Young led us with 12 sacks, and Joe Gonzalez, our second-year player after we traded away Carl Granderson, he had a good season, 8.5 sacks. We'll definitely take that. 4 picks for Justin Reed, 3 for Nick Noel, and 2 for Terrell Bernard. Really good numbers from our defense this year. And the Carolina Panthers are going to be our matchup. They upset the Rams in the 6 vs 3 matchup, 30-15. So we get a divisional opponent, but they didn't even win 9 games this year. At home, I like our chances here. I do want to hop in and get our first look at Shedeur Sanders and this offense, which is actually really young and exciting. We got a 3rd and 11 here. Can we find Chris Olave on this end-breaking route? I'm not going to risk it. Just going to dump it down to Juwan Johnson. We're going to be a little bit short, but let's go for this. We're going to be a little aggressive here. Have a Umanor going a slant route, maybe find him underneath, and there he is. Look at the great speed across the middle of the field. He holds on. We're down to the 1. I thought maybe he was going to drop that. Let's hand it off to Gilmore here. Scattaboo as our fullback. You love to see it. And right up the middle, we got the touchdown. It's 7-0 early. Now, hopefully our defense, which has been much better this year, can continue to hold down. I still believe Bryce Young is our quarterback. It's 7-3 as we approach halftime. Not much offense in this game. 7-3 is a very low-scoring game. It looks like the Panthers are making a run here, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. It's 7-6 now, but our offense can't get anything going. It's 10-6 here. Let's try to get Shedeur Sanders his first playoff passing touchdown. And over the middle of the field again, it's caught by Umanor. And he's into the end zone. He's been a really good player for us. And he's going to get his first career playoff touchdown as well. And now up 17-6. I feel good until we allowed that touchdown. Now we're trying to ice the game, another touchdown from Shedeur Sanders. But the Panthers just won't go away. We are going to kick a field goal. But that gives Bryce Young and this Panthers offense a chance to go down the field and walk it off with a touchdown. We're going to hop in here, try and get a stop underneath here to their tight end for 6 yards. They are going no huddle. They do have 2 timeouts, but as long as we just bend but don't break, we're fine. We're going over the top here, and it's going to be picked off by Kool-Aid McKinstry, our cornerback too, coming in huge, and that's going to just about do it here. A little bit closer than I would have liked, but we did take care of business. It's a divisional opponent. It's always going to be a little bit tough, but we're going to win 27-21. And move on to the NFC Championship game. And Shedeur Sanders was money in his first playoff game, 391 yards and 2 touchdowns, 76 completion percentage as well. We got another upset. The Detroit Lions took down the Packers, and now we have the number 5 seed, a wild card team coming on the road to face off against us. The Titans, who had that generational pass rusher, are in the AFC Championship game against the Bengals again. But are we ready to take down this Lions team? They have so many weapons. But so far, we are getting the best of them. 14-0. Are we going to blow the Lions out at home here? We're already in the red zone again. It's 21-0. We might have just punked the Lions in this game. It's 21-3 at halftime. Still, the Lions haven't got on the board with a touchdown. And we're kind of just running out the clock now. Still no points from us, at least. It's 21-13. They're making it a little bit interesting. I don't know what's happened to Shedeur and our offense. Just no points or production in the second half. That is not how you close a game. But we're trying to pick up 1 first down in this game. Gonna find Gilmore underneath. Can he break a tackle? He can't. But Kellen Moore, he likes going for it. So we're gonna do it on 4th and 3 here. Love this little mesh concept. And Chris Olave underneath holds on to it. First down. Should probably just about do it if we can cap it off with some points. And I guess we just missed a field goal. But the Lions can't go down the field. We are going to escape and survive, win 21-13. I don't like how we played in that second half, but we are going to be making it to the Super Bowl in year number 3. And we aren't going to be able to face off against Cam Ward and the Titans in the Super Bowl. It's Joe Burrow. We do have the overall advantage in this game, but anytime you're going up against, I've said it many times, a Hall of Fame generational quarterback in Joe Burrow, it's going to be tough. But we got Shedeur Sanders, and we're coming ready to go. We need to get off to a fast start, and it looks like we do. A very quick score, and now we have the ball again inside the red zone. It's 14-0. Our offense has been lethal to start these games. Kellen Moore has some great plans. It's still 14-0. The Bengals offense has still not found the end zone or any points yet. We're in the red zone again, going to kick a field goal, 17-3 now. Inside the 20 again before halftime, and we're going to make it 24-3 at half. Can we please not choke this lead, please? I'm really hoping. And it's now a 7-point game. Again, why is our team stalling out in the second half? It was 24-3. And now the Bengals are on the doorstep inside the 10 trying to tie this game up. What has happened in the second half of these games? Is Shedeur Sanders just not playing? And underneath here, T. Higgins touchdown. Actually, that's not T. Higgins. I thought it was because 85. It's Kadeem something. Must be some rookie. But now it's time to tune in to Shedeur in this offense. It's 24-24. First play, a 2-yard carry. We have scored 0 points, a goose egg in the second half. We could have put this game out of reach a long time ago, but I guess the silver lining is we still have a chance to win this game. We have the football. We have a great offensive line, maybe the best power running back in the league. We're going to hand it off to him, and an easy first down. And Gilmore breaking some tackles. We're across midfield. The exact start to this drive I've been waiting for. Probably 2 more first downs gets us in comfortable field goal range. Shedeur underneath, again firing it to Shaheed for around 7 yards. We're going to line up in the I formation again. I'm kind of fine taking this to the 2-minute warning, but we're not going to do it. And Gilmore weaving and bobbing through tacklers for the first down. The Bengals will have to start using their timeouts. I think 1 first down probably ends this game. They're going to bring a blitz here. Shedeur's going to get rid of the football, and he does it. Aiden Hutchinson, who decided to not sign with us and for agency with the sack. I don't know what Shedeur was doing there. He should not be taking that, especially like in his 3rd year. But he's going to make up for it here with a dime to Shaheed for the first down. A 20-yard strike on the screws to Shaheed. And now we can basically run out this clock. Gilmore up the middle. They just can't bring him down. The Bengals do burn their first timeout, but again, 3 yards and this game is over. Gilmore up the middle, and he's got it. That's just going to about do it here. If the CPU and Madden Sim was smart, we would just take 3 knees, call a timeout, kick the field goal. We'll see if they actually do that or not. It's going to be another run here, and Gilmore up the middle, breaking more tackles. And now Shedeur's going to line up in shotgun. I just don't want to give this ball back to Joe Burrow, and Gilmore up the middle. He gave it back to Joe Burrow. But we're going to hop in here. It's already 3rd and 15. The Bengals are out of timeouts. 48 seconds to go. And Jamar Chase across the middle of the field. It's actually going to be picked off by our superstar X-Factor cornerback, Noel. And he's taking it back all the way for 6. And that's going to be all she wrote. Night, Aiden Hutchinson. You should have came to New Orleans, man. And the New Orleans Saints, in year 3 of this rebuild, have won the Super Bowl in kind of dominating fashion. I mean, I feel like for 3 quarters of this game, we dominated 38-24, got close in the end, but all the additions and Kellen Moore, Shedeur Sanders have brought back glory to New Orleans. And the season recap, Super Bowl MVP went to Chris Olave, but Rookie Gilmore did win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Kellen Moore did win Coach of the Year. I'm surprised Shedeur Sanders, just under 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, didn't win MVP, but Chris Olave, he takes home the award. I do want to play out next season. I mean, we're in a great situation. $81 million in cap room. All of our key players are under contract. Will Campbell going to accept his 5th-year option as well, up to an 88 overall. Juwan Johnson can leave. Pete Warner. I think the rest of these guys we're going to try and replace. But $81 million in cap room, our team's going to be even better next season. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he would be a really fun player, but we just do not need him whatsoever. I don't even think we really need Quinyon Mitchell because Kool-Aid McKinstry's developed really well for us. I guess Xavier Worthy could just be a fun addition to pair him up with all the other receivers we have. Pete Warner did leave in free agency, so Jack Campbell could be a good player to replace him. He's better, younger as well. Can never go wrong with Aleem McNeil, an 86 overall defensive tackle. Been trying to address that position all video. I guess to make this video come full circle, we're going to bring back Spencer Rattler to be our backup on a 3-year deal. Why not? And we did get all of our players. Worthy, Campbell, McNeil, and Rattler. Our team is going to be ridiculous next season. This was even without all of our draft picks. I went ahead and let the CPU take care of the draft, and they drafted a receiver In the first round, thought that was one of our deeper positions, but Antoine Whittaker is 73 overall. A good outside linebacker in Mitch Cheeks, a really good strong safety in KJ Ragland. Honestly, the CPU did a pretty good job. Even got us a lot of depth in day 3 for our team. But honestly, I'm pretty speechless with this roster in year number 4. It is just so good. Somehow this random tight end, Barkley, is just a superstar X factor who the CPU drafted in like round 6 or 7. But I mean, the offensive line is great. We have one of the best running backs in the league, a great wide receiver core now with another addition in Whittaker. Shedeur Sanders, 89 overall, X factor. He's developed great for us. But I'm really most proud about this defense and how we have rebuilt it. One of the best cornerbacks in the game in Noel, a safety duo that's really good. Linebacking core is amazing. The defensive line has really progressed. I would say the one weak point maybe on our entire team is just not like an elite pass rusher, but Gonzalez and Chase Young have been pretty good for us. But we just barely made the postseason. 10-7. We lost 2 games in a row. Our defense was not that great this year. Our offense was still really, really solid. Shedeur Sanders had an MVP type season, 4,100 yards, 45 touchdowns to 8 picks. Rushing wise, yep, we saw that average go for Gilmore as soon as he hit a 90 overall, 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. Receiving, Chris Olave, 25 touchdowns is insane. But Xavier Worthy, really good season. Shaheed still a solid option for us. Defensively, sacks were spread out a lot more this year, but Aleem McNeil led us with 9, 8.5 still for Chase Young. Picks wise, McKinstry and Sanders still had 3 each, and Noel only 1 pick this year. Not really sure why our defense has been worse this year, but we're going to just go ahead and sim through this first wildcard round and see if we can take down the 13-4 San Francisco 49ers, and we did. I guess we just have that championship pedigree. One of the best teams, I guess, record-wise in this postseason. We moved past them 24-18, and now we're on the road against the Green Bay Packers. Can we do it again and take down Green Bay? 5 overall is better than them. This really should not be a contest on paper, but we lose 41-27. But that is going to do it for this Shedeur Sanders New Orleans Saints rebuild. I think it went really, really well. It's always really hard to go back-to-back in Madden Sim, but going from one of the worst teams and a very old team to now where we are now in just 3 seasons, I think is really, really impressive. The offense is absolutely loaded, and on the defensive side of the ball, it's even better. We are seeing a couple of our players age now, like Chase Young and Justin Reed. I think he is maybe we're retired, but you get the idea and the picture. Our team is ridiculous. We have the star talent. We have the depth. We have just a lot of really nice veteran players as well, and a ton of nice young talent, up to a 90 overall squad, 93 offense, 87 defense. That has been it. That is the Shedeur Sanders New Orleans Saints rebuild. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it and what type of rebuild you want to see next. We're very close to the NFL draft. Very exciting times in the NFL offseason. But subscribe to the channel if you are new. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you guys in my next rebuild.